Okay, so as we said, we want to determine what's in scope, identify in scope system and data. Let's write down. I hope you're with me. Remember, we talked so much about CDE, Card Data Environment, right? But let's define it now. First, the CDE is a network segment that includes system or devices that directly store, process, or transmit cardholder data. You see, network segment that or system segment that includes system or devices that directly store, process, or transmit cardholder data. And remember, again, I will talk about my networking video. We went so much because we realized that, information will have to pass through some of these devices. And that's where we start talking about scoping because you need to first of all know, right? And even when they're documenting on your policy, you should be able to tell or relate. First, there are also steps that you can identify the CDE. CDE, for example, system that store PAN, that's the number, right? Look for databases, server, or cloud services where PAN data is stored. Do you just go and be looking? Whatever thing that they have documented, you have it on your policies. And that's why I think goal 12, goal 6, or requirement talk about information or InfoSec policies. They need to have those policies well written. If they say this particular database is storing PAN, and that's where that will give you an idea that, okay, this is a database version. This type of database is Oracle, is MySQL, or Mongo, or Cassandra database that is storing your PAN, right? This includes transactional system, payment system, and customer databases. Do you see? So apparently, first, that's a question that you want to go like, okay, maybe identify your CDE, but how do you first identify it? That's why you ask question because you are new, you do not know. But still, but going through your policy, you should be able to read and understand, the system that are within scope. Okay. And do you see, this is an example of the CDE, system or device that are directly stored, processed, or transmit card holder data. And you already have that in the environment, right? System that transmit collect card holder data. Identify system that send card holder data over the networks, such as payment gateway, online checkout system, and APIs. So do you see? That's again, remember once, more or less, we localize it in the local area network. But now what happened to system that send cardholder data over the network? Send cardholder data over the network. If they have to do that, then it also becomes in scope. APIs, right? I think we know, application programming interface. If you go to Walmart or you go to a website, with the use of API, it will redirect you to PayPal website to make your payment. Had it been that something that we are involved, if API is routing that, of course, communication happens, right? Transaction, collection of, maybe PAN or sensitive information. And if that happens, then you also need to make sure it is part of the CDE, that's the card data environment. High five. I hope you guys are feeling me because I'm just enjoying the training myself. Okay. And if you look at it very well, this is a typical example of some of the things that we've covered. Those systems sending information over the network. If you realize, do you see you have the online checking system, and then you have the payment gateway, and of course you have the API, right? Say you want to go to like Amazon. I don't think Amazon will route you to PayPal, but Walmart will do. If you want to shopping, go to Walmart. Walmart will be able to route you to PayPal. And let's not also think even of, what again, whatever device that is has to do that, this sensitive information, PAN and the like, will have to carry out or transmit the information. It has to be in scope and also to be in compliance with PCI DSS. The next one, remember, first we'll talk about the device within, we'll talk about device over the internet. But remember last videos, we spoke so much about POPs. What happened to POP system? Identify system that process payment or transactions such as point of sale, terminals, payment processor, and mobile payment apps. Remember, I'll be telling people I do a lot of Apple Pay and all those things. That's exactly what we're saying. So do you now see, now we are defining the card data environment. So think of all these other things that we've mentioned. It has to be in compliance with PCI DSS. And you guys will see. You see, system that process cardholder data, you have the point of sale, you have a payment processor, as well as a mobile payment app. That reminds me, at times when you go to some of these flea market, those people on their phone, they will tell you can scan and all those things. I used to do that, prior to getting to security, but now with my OCD, as far as security is concerned, that's something that I cannot do. So each time when I'm going to flea market or any like a show or say like maybe a fair or something, I can just make sure I have like cash. If I don't want to be swapping my cards, to different places, right? But what are those questions that you need to ask? And that's why I say I took my time to prepare this slide. If you are new, you have to work for the organization. What are the questions that you need to ask? Even if you're a professional where maybe you've had or understand different frameworks and you want to understand these regulations and you get a job that you're going to be assisting. You work organization that have two or more regulatory frameworks. What are those key questions that you're going to ask? Do you see? Does the system store, process, or transmit PAN cardholder data name, expiration date, or other element of cardholder data? Does the system store or transmit sensitive authentication data like CVV or full magnetic stripe data? Does the system have access to the CDE or connect to systems that handle cardholder data? And I promise you, if you even read their policies, then you should be able to have answer to all of these questions. And though you have answers to these questions, it's not something that you're just gonna assume and like, yeah, their policy is great. Yes, we have this working. If that's the case, then you're not gonna get job, okay? Then you're not really gonna get job. So the reason about doing this is the fact that once we realize that, then we have to test, we have to collect the artifacts, we have to ensure those controls are operational, right? As it's not a one-time thing that we do. That's why we hear the process of continuous monitoring, and that's why you cannot get job. That's why organization will definitely hire you all the time. Okay. For example, POP system, if your organization uses a POP system to process payment, the system is part of the CDE because it handles cardholder data during the transaction. A third-party payment gateway that processes online payment is part of the CDE since it handles cardholder data complete transaction, right? And this gives us a good example of all what we've covered. Does the system store and process this? Do you see? Does the system store, transmit CVV or SAP? Does the system have access to your cardholder environment, card data environment? So yes, and then you know that it has to be in scope. But determine the scope of the system that could impact security. So the next video, we will talk on that and see, determine the scope of system that could impact security. I'll see you guys in the next video. And again, you know the tradition. Help this girl, subscribe, like, and just keep sharing. And I will see you all in the next video.